Hello, listeners, and welcome to another edition of Bookie Bashing. Week 10 NFL season is here. Very excited to get at you with another winning card. I am your host, Anthony Nicky Jr., as always, alongside Ace Berg. How you feeling, baby?
Feeling great after the couple weeks we've had. Finally recovering after all that celebrating we did after these big weeks. But, back on the grind, ready to win this week.
Yeah, Staxxx, I know you had to get some recovery time in. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Everything's growing. Our percentages are growing. Our bank accounts are growing. Our clientele is growing. There's a lot of buzz around bookiebashingats.com, and that's going to continue throughout the rest of the season. So excited for NBA to start, watching these teams develop, watching how they play, and getting a feel for this NBA season.
Yeah, last week really opened up another season as we started the second half of this NFL run, and we came out fired. 4-1 week for you. That has made us 13-2 over the last 3 weeks, and 2 more total play winners. We have yet to miss a total play this season. Perfect. Find that anywhere else. As Staxxx said, gonna get at you with some NBA and college basketball plays shortly. Waiting for those seasons to get into gear a little bit, get a better feel for these teams, but then we will be coming at you with more winners in that realm. Very excited to get at you with this Week 10 card as we continue the marathon that is the NFL season, continue to build up these bankrolls. Let's make it a month straight of getting paid out by your bookie each and every week. Week 10, start them at the top.
Denver at Oakland.
3 guarantees. Death, taxes, we do not lose total plays here at Bookie Bashing. Let's open Week 10 with another one. We love this Broncos-Raiders game to cruise over that posted total of 49. Getting a Denver team that was just coming off of an embarrassing loss in New England. They got beat by over 20 points, but still, we gave you that overplay last week, and that thing cruised over. Now I'm getting Manning and company that I think is going to put up big points in Oakland. Denver's gone over in 15 of 22 games on the road, 40 of 55 following a straight-up loss. What does that mean? They put up big amounts of points following a bad performance. I think Demaryius Thomas puts up big numbers here against a Raiders defense that does pretty well in the secondary, but they do not rush the passer well. Peyton Manning will have all day to throw, and he's going to pick apart this Oakland team because of that. Both Thomases are going to have big days. I get Emmanuel Sanders in the slot. I think he puts up some big numbers. On the other side of the ball, Oakland, I don't necessarily think they can keep with Denver, but they're going to put up some points. They've gone over in 5 of their last 8 home games. Carr just put up 24 points in Seattle last week. Now, he gets this Denver defense that, although they have improved, they show they can give up points. And I think Oakland, they're going to trail in most of this game, and the Broncos are going to let them put some points in the end, maybe not play at 110% the entire game. Take this thing to go over that posted total of 49 as Denver almost does it themselves.
The fact that this offense was embarrassed in New England leads me to believe that they're going to want to score a lot of points against a 0-8 Raiders team. And on the other hand, the Raiders can score points, and they have been doing just that. Against, like Tony just said, against the Seahawks, they put up 24. Carr shows that he can put up points. They got some talented young receivers. They're going to want to battle against a division opponent. They're going to score points. And you know Manning and crew is definitely going to get their points, especially they're looking at an 0-8 team to feast on after that embarrassment in New England. I love this game to get over. There's going to be a lot of points scored, a couple garbage touchdowns at the end of the game, like Tony said. Roll with you.
Yeah, guys, you get a lot of value with this over-under being set under 50. That's a rare occurrence for a Peyton Manning game, and it's really just because the public looks at this Oakland Raiders team and doesn't believe that they can score any points. But I want to highlight a couple guys on their team that I really think can push this game over where it needs to be. A guy like Michael Rivera and Andre Holmes, Carr has been very comfortable with. In fact, Andre Holmes leads the team in touchdowns. Michael Rivera is second in the team in reception. I really like Rivera. He's shown that he can be that consistent tight end option down the middle of the field and on those short out routes on third down. I think he can really help this offense continue to move the ball and not keep up with Peyton Manning and these Denver Broncos, but at least put up enough points for us. I mean, heck, I think Peyton could score in the 40s. Peyton might even score in the 50s. He might just get this himself for us. I mean, you know all of the targets he has. In fact, Emmanuel Sanders leads the team in receptions, and I really think that shows just how many weapons they have, because if you were to list the most dangerous weapons on the team, Emmanuel Sanders would be about 4th on that list. Everybody knows Peyton Manning has all of the targets in the world, and I think the scoreboard's going to really reflect that. I think we get into the 60s, 70s, maybe even 80s this week.
Yeah, Peyton Manning makes receivers out of everybody, gets Eric Decker a big contract in New York, now has revived Emmanuel Sanders' career. Take this thing to cruise over the posted totals. We get a little bit of a shootout here. Denver wins it 41-21 final.
Tennessee at Baltimore.
Great value here as we get a Ravens team coming off 2 tough division losses, laying 10 at home against a bad Titans team. I'm going to take these Ravens all day to win by double digits, stay in the hunt in the AFC North. Titans team come in 1-5-1 against the spread in the last 7 games overall, 16-35-1 against the spread versus a team with a winning record. Now I'm getting a Ravens team that takes care of business versus the bad team. Plain and simple. They beat up on the Falcons, beat up on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers prior to those 2 tough division games. They had to go to Cincinnati and to Pittsburgh. Now public a little bit down on them and they come back home where I think this offense clicks into gear and really puts up well into the 30s against a Titans defense that just isn't that good. Has some good veteran leaders, but just not that good of a team. Zach Mettenberger, I'm not a believer in it. I think he was a late round quarterback pick for a reason. I don't think he's the answer for Ken Whisenhunt and this Titans team. Expect these Ravens to shut down Tennessee in a game that they have to have. They cruise in this one by double digits, easy cover for us.
Folks, this game is very simple. Baltimore Ravens average over 26 points per game, and when they're at home, they average over 27 points per game. Their offense averages 370 yards per game. They average almost 400 yards per game when they're at home. Now they go up against a Tennessee Titans team that on defense gives up over 25 points per game and averages giving up well over 350 a game also. If you look at the flip side of the game, the Tennessee Titans offense barely averages 17 points a game. Now they're going up against a Ravens defense that when they're at home doesn't even give up 12 points a game. It's just that simple, folks. Zach Mettenberger and these Titans are not going to be able to keep up with Joe Flacco, who's going to sling the ball around all day to Torrey Smith and Steve Smith. He just loves all these targets. Look for Owen Daniel to get a little more love this year as he takes over for Pitta. I like the Ravens to just absolutely destroy this Tennessee Titans team.
Exactly, Ace. Mettenberger and this Titans offense is not going to be able to keep up with Joe Flacco and company, and it's as simple as that. Very weak offense in Tennessee. The running game isn't there yet. They lack receivers. They got this quarterback that I wouldn't give a shot in a Canadian league, and he's going up against ex-Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco. These guys are going to get it done. They're going to balance, run, and pass very well. Roll with the Ravens here.
Yeah, I think you got an easy play here in Baltimore, laying the 10 points, taking a double-digit victory, cruising 34-13 past the Titans.
Atlanta at Tampa Bay.
Coming at you here with an odds maker error in the third game as we're taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, getting 2.5 points. Gonna play it smart as always. Buy that hook to 3, but we love the Buccaneers at home in this one. Listen, public all over the Atlanta Falcons. Over 70% of the money is on them early on here, and this is a Falcons team that should not be laying points, folks. They are 2-6 overall. Here's a squad that is not covered in 4 of their last 5 games overall and last 4 games overall on the road. I am getting a Tampa Bay team. Listen, I know they're not great, but they're young. They still have something to play for here. The Falcons came into this year with the thought that they would actually be a solid squad, and they are who we thought they were. They have not been the same team since Tony Gonzalez retired on offense. They just are not that spectacular. Matt Ryan has no time, and I think the Buccaneers show up here. Lovie Smith puts a good game plan together and makes it difficult for the Falcons to score any point. On the other side of the ball, McCown comes back, and I think although he is not spectacular, he will manage the game for the Buccaneers and lead them to their second victory. These two teams match up twice a year, and the home team has covered in 5 of their last 7 games overall with 1 tie in there. So really, 5-1-1 against the spread. I really think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should be at more of a pick-em here. We're getting the points. I love them at +3. Take them as an outright winner against a bad Falcons team.
Guys, on first glance at the schedule, this is a really ugly game that most people would not touch. But those are the games I love because that's where the real value is at. The games that people don't want to watch on TV is where you can really take advantage of the public. Because most people look at this game and think the Falcons offense just cannot be contained by this Buccaneers team. The problem is when you look at the last 5 games, they're averaging over 7 points less and almost 50 yards less per game. The Falcons offense is not what it was, and the majority of the public does not realize that. I'm not over here telling you that this Tampa Bay offense is electric and outstanding. The thing is, McCown does work well with big receivers. You saw what he did last year in Chicago when he had those 2 big targets. Now he's back with Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson. Early in the season when he was playing, Vincent Jackson wasn't healthy. Mike Evans was just a young rookie. He's really taken strides into becoming a better player and a much more consistent target for these Tampa Bay quarterbacks. I think now that he comes back, it's going to look a lot closer to what Lovie Smith was hoping when they went out and signed McCown. I still think that the Buccaneers are not a great team in the grand scheme of things, but I think this weekend there's a lot of value in taking the points for them at home, and I believe that these Buccaneers get the outright win. Take the Bucs.
We're starting to see some good things out of this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. The offense is coming together. Mike Evans is becoming an absolute beast. And Josh McCown loves to sling the ball around to his big receivers. And that's what he's going to do this week. I really think they're the hungrier team here, as Atlanta is really just probably giving up on the season. You know, their playoff hopes are pretty much shot. They had high expectations this season between the injuries and just the horrible coaching. I think Mike Smith is an idiot. I can't stand the guy. I really think that this hungry, young Tampa Bay Buccaneers team just gets the outright win here. The running game starts to come together a little bit more, and we see this Atlanta Falcons team hopes, dreams, and this 2014 season go right down the tubes.
Yeah, Falcons really should not be laying points on the road anywhere. And now I got the public all over them in Tampa Bay. Give me the Buccaneers here to take an outright victory. As always, play it smart, buy the hook to 3. Don't get beat by the field goal. Buccaneers win this one, 19-16.
St. Louis at Arizona.
NFC West matchup here. We love these Arizona Cardinals. Again, getting great value. Vegas still not a believer. Laying 7 points at home as the Rams come in. I'm taking these Cardinals easy double-digit victory here. I'm getting a Cardinals team that is covered in their last 4 games overall. 5 of 7 at home, and they beat up the bad teams, having covered in 11 of 12 games against the spread versus a team with a losing record. Now, in comes these Rams, having had 2 division wins this season against the Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think they have another big one under their belt. The Rams have gone 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 games on the road. And head-to-head, these two teams match up twice a year, of course. Arizona covering in 9 of 13 and 5 of 7 at home. I just think the Cardinals, with Carson Palmer not turning the ball over, are a really tough team. Their defense is very strong. I don't think the Rams can move the ball this week on offense. I think Bruce Arians and company sets up a great scheme in which Larry Fitzgerald gets some touches here, has a big game, take the Cardinals to roll by double digits over the Rams.
Love these Cardinals. They've shown that they're for real. Like Tony just said, the St. Louis Rams just beat a 49ers team that has a lot of problems. I don't know exactly what the problem is over there, whether it's locker room, whether it's Colin Kaepernick, who knows. But this tough Arizona defense is going to shut down the St. Louis Rams this week. And the offense is very capable of scoring points. Andre Ellington is going to have a day. They have the young receivers, young talent receivers. Larry Fitzgerald's going to have a day. I really like what Carson Palmer's doing, and I haven't said that in a long time. He's taking good care of the football, not making his typical stupid mistakes. Had a pick last week, but other than that, he's looked pretty good. I really don't think this St. Louis Rams team is for real. I can't see this Rams team being the one to take out the Arizona Cardinals. They're the best team in the NFL, record-wise, and they're going to continue that streak this Sunday.
Guys, I want to put last week's Rams game out of our minds. Look back over the 2 tough games right before that. They got killed by the Chiefs, and they really just got outplayed and had to trick play their way to a win against Seattle. If you look at the numbers, the St. Louis defense is just getting manhandled. They're giving up over 27 points a game. It's just not pretty. Now you go up against an Arizona defense that averages less than 18 points a game, and your offense on the road isn't even averaging 17 points. Austin Davis is definitely proving that he's a career backup. I still don't think he's much more than that. You can have a couple nice games, but I think a tough team like the Arizona Cardinals are really going to show what they do against the backup quarterback. Look what they did against Brandon Whedon, who has a lot more experience than Austin Davis does. But yet they're very similar quarterbacks when you look at what they can and can't do out there on the football field. The Cardinals are just going to beat up these Rams, and Carson Palmer's going to have himself a bit of a day. He might throw another pick, but clearly he hasn't thrown many this season. I think that trend keeps up. I think he makes the smart plays against a Rams team that really isn't outstanding anywhere on this football field and is just getting more and more banged up. All those trends continue, and the Arizona Cardinals get themselves a big victory here.
Yeah, I think we're getting great value here. The best team in the NFC only laying a touchdown against this weak Rams team. Take the Cardinals to cruise in this one, 27-10 final.
Carolina at Philadelphia.
Going to continue to build on that perfect total play record on the season here as we're coming at you prime time, Monday Night Football. Carolina heading into Philly, going to take that thing to cruise over the posted total of 48 points. Getting a Carolina team that has not been the same on defense as years past. Coming into the year, you're thinking they're a top 5 defense. Really, they've given up a lot of points this year, especially on the road. Carolina Panthers have gone over in 5 of the last 7 games overall. For Philadelphia, they've gone over in 5 of 7 at home, and I know on offense people are a little scared with Nick Foles being out. Newsflash for you folks, that system puts up points, not Nick Foles. Mark Sanchez came in last week, showed that he can handle the system. Got the Eagles to 31 points. That game would have went under in Houston if Nick Foles didn't get hurt. Sanchez came in, really sparked the offense. 52-yard pass to Macklin right off the gate. The guy now has a week to prep, knows he's going to be the starter. I think this Eagles offense puts up some big points. Philadelphia has gone over in 7 of their last 9 games on Monday night. We know the defense is going to give up some points. I know Nate Allen's good to get burned at least one time, if not twice. I expect Greg Olsen to put up big things up the seam. Kelvin Benjamin, rookie receiver, has a big night. Cam Newton's going to put up some points for Carolina. Take this thing to cruise over the posted total of 48 on Monday Night Football.
The Carolina Panthers offense has not put up outstanding numbers so far this season. But most of that has happened with a really depleted running back core that's much healthier now. You got the big names in Williams and Stewart both back. It really helps out Cam Newton as those defenders have to at least watch those running backs a little more than they would a Fozzie Whitaker. Now they're letting Cam Newton run more read option plays. That's really helping this team extend drives and get points on the board even when they can't get that big explosive play through a Kelvin Benjamin. Now if you look at their numbers on the road, they definitely improve a little bit, but that's really only because Cam Newton has to do everything he can to keep his team in this game, because on the defensive side of the ball, they're averaging giving up a touchdown more per game when they're on the road. That's really going to kill them this week in Philadelphia when they face a team that's 4th in points, 4th in yards, top 5 in passing, top 10 in rushing. It's a team that's explosive and can put up a lot of points really quick on you. But don't worry, folks, Cam Newton really gets up for that big stage, probably more than anyone else in the league, I'd say. He loves when all the lights and all the cameras are on him, and he wants to be the star this Monday night. Now, I don't think he gets the job done with a win, but I do think he looks really impressive in his attempt to keep the Panthers in this game. I love the Eagles' offense to not miss a beat with Mark Sanchez at the helm. I'll tell you what, Sanchez is more mobile. There's a reason he was picked higher in the draft than a Nick Foles. He has more physical tools than a Nick Foles. And in a system like Chip Kelly, who works around his quarterback, it gives Chip Kelly some more options. He's going to be able to run some plays that nobody's seen this season because Nick Foles couldn't run those plays. Mark Sanchez gives him a wider variety in the playbook, and he's really going to use it to full advantage on a primetime stage on Monday night. I see points on both sides of the board, and I think the best value this weekend is this over because most people do not think Mark Sanchez can continue putting up points for this Philadelphia Eagles offense. I'm a buyer on Mark Sanchez. I'm a buyer on the Eagles. And this over is an easy money play, guys.
Yep, we know what these Philadelphia Eagles do, and that is score points. And they're going to do just that this week against these Carolina Panthers, whose defense has been out of whack for a while now. Love Kelvin Benjamin. I said it the first time we were on the air here. He will be in the mention for the top rookie receiver in the NFL. Probably a Rookie of the Year candidate. He's going to get a lot of points on his first Monday night game. He's really going to do big things here in Philadelphia. Love this game to go over. There's going to be a lot of scoring. Cam Newton's going to be airing that ball out and running around. Mark Sanchez and crew. Jeremy Macklin has another huge game. LaShawn McCoy might get together a little bit. We got Darren Sproles back, getting back involved in the offense. Love this game to go over. Roll it.
Yeah, think Mark Sanchez does some things to lead this Philadelphia attack. Rub a little bit more salt in the wound for those New York Jets fans over there. On the defensive side of the ball, Kerry Williams, Brandon Boykin, and Nate Allen just sounds like a lot of missed tackles on Monday night. Carolina's going to put up some points here, take this thing to cruise over to post a total of 48, 31-27 final. So that will do it for this Week 10 card. Going to come at you with a 4th consecutive winning week here, as we love these 5 games. We've been bashing your bookies consistently over the last month. Hit them 4-1 last week to open up the second half of the NFL season. That's 13-2 over the last 3 weekends, and we are still perfect on total plays on the season. That's right, perfect. Have yet to miss an over-under. Going to continue to build on those records this Sunday. Love these 5 games. Opening things up with a total play. Denver at Oakland, over 49 as they cruise 41-21 final. Love these Baltimore Ravens laying the 10 points at home against a bad Tennessee Titans team. Take the Ravens to roll by double digits here, 34-13 final. Going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an odds maker error. We are getting 2.5 points at home against a bad Falcons team. We're not going to get beat by the field goal as always. Buy that hook to 3, but we get an outright winner there, 19-16 final. taking the Arizona Cardinals in an NFC West division game. Rams come in, Cardinals only laying the 7 points. Love this Cardinals team. Best team in the NFC right now to get a double-digit home victory, 27-10 final. And then another total play. Keep that perfect record going on Monday night. Prime time in Philadelphia. The Carolina Panthers come in. Love that thing to cruise over 48. 31-27 final. We love these 5 games. Started out great the second half of the NFL season last week. We're going to continue to build on that record this year. Of course, hitting it over 65% so far on the season. This is a marathon. It is not a sprint. We're going to continue to make you money. If you haven't been on so far through the first half of the year, it's not too late. Get on now. We're continuing to build up those bankrolls. Going to make it a month straight of getting paid out by these bookies. And right around the corner, coming at you with NBA and college basketball plays, just waiting to sink our teeth into that season a little bit. Love these 5 games. Love another winning week. For my gambling associates, Joey Staxxx and Ace Berg, I am your host, Anthony Nicky Jr., wishing you a great weekend as always. Continue to beat up them bookies, and we will see you here next time at www.bookiebashingats.com.